show. Always Irish show. Always Irish show. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. What are you doing? Don't do this to me, Harry! The Ohio State. It's Ohio State! What do you mean, the? It's a poison. I almost stroked out and died over it. I'm glad to be at the party. I'm mad we're this late. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. That helps the defense without them even doing a damn thing. Doing a damn thing. The call-in line. 312-988-15. You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Irish. Yeah, that's right. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Irish. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Welcome back, everybody, to a football Christmas Eve day edition of the Always Irish Morning Show. We're at the end, you guys. We're at the end. Everybody's losing their minds. We just need some action, and we're going to get it, damn it. We're going to get this action. But everybody's at a saturation point. There's nothing else to talk about. There's nothing else to say. There's nothing else for me to write on USA Today, Fighting Irish Wire, even though you should go there every day. Even though I'm out of stuff to write. I never say that. We're at the end. All the questions, all the worries. What are we going to be? What is this team going to be? What's Notre Dame going to look like? We just need answers. We need games, and we're going to get it. It's a beautiful thing. There's something magical. There's something absolutely magical about being a diehard fan the night before the first game. There's nothing like that feeling, but you got to be a diehard. You can't fake it till you make it on this. Your stomach's either turning and burning today or it's not. And if it's not, there's nothing wrong with that, but you're in a different level than the people that watch this program. And that's fine. But those of you that know what I mean. It's been hard to sleep this week. It's going to be hard to sleep tonight. That churning and that burning, that excitement, but also the anxiety, because you know this is Notre Dame. And at any given time, they can crush your soul. So you have all the excitement on one end, and then you have the realities of Notre Dame on the other, which are, in my lifetime, every time you think you could kind of trust Notre Dame in a game or entering a bit, then something bad happens. Like all of it's in the mix. Oh, we've worked so hard to get here too. All through the offseason, the middle of the winter, all the recruiting ups and downs, just every week thinking about Notre Dame and not getting any answers. We're almost here. Welcome in, everybody, to Notre Dame football 2023. Hopefully it's better for my hairline than 22 was. Oh, my God. 312-988-15. We're going live this morning. We're going live tonight, too. And I know it's like, is that the best for your programming that you're going to do a stream, two on the same day? Are you going to say the same stuff both times? Hell no. It's going to be a different vibe tonight. Oh, you know it's going to be a different vibe tonight. You're going to have everybody all worked up after work on a Friday night before the Notre Dame game. Me suspects some adult beverages are going to be added. We're going live tonight at the normal time. I'll put up the link, 8 o'clock. Be there. What else you going to do? You're going to pace around all nervous. We may as well be together. Thank you for joining me. Obviously, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps me as well. Them notifications on. That way you alerted every time there's a new episode. I know you don't want to miss it. Twitter. Search bar, Always Irish, or at Always Irish Inc. Emails, alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only, anywhere you want it, you can get it. Call in line 312-988-15. You tell Johnny. I can't believe it. Tomorrow after the game when we go live, this is actually going to apply. 312-988-15. Call and tell Johnny all you heard and seen about the game. We're going live right now. We're going live at 8 o'clock tonight. We're going live 1 minute after the game tomorrow because I got to hear what you guys think. I need to know it, and we got to show it. Fighting Irish Wire every single day. Look it up on your computer box. We got our game predictions up. I wrote an article yesterday about just how different this year could be, and I gave 3 different reasons why I encourage you to go read Johnny's work. All right? Okay. We got some really, really solid super chats here. Let's go through some of these chats. You know me. I want to get caught up on the chats before we get into anything else. I want to know today. I want to know what you want to see from Notre Dame. I'm not looking for just like a score. I want to know what you want Notre Dame to do in the game. I want to know what you want to see, what you want Notre Dame to present as. I want to hear all that. Also, I want to know what you don't want to see. Very specifically, it's easy to just give a score. I want to know these things. Tell me what you're looking to see from Notre Dame and what you're not looking to see. Marcus said yesterday, they're excited and they're ready. If you are excited and you're ready, and he's right, you kick the crap out of this team. You win by 3 or 4 scores. We keep it moving. There's not a bunch of injuries, and we just sink the ship, let it go to the bottom of the ocean like the Titanic with Jack there sinking to the bottom, and we move on, and I don't have to think about stupid Navy again for a year. It's my least favorite game of the year. I just don't like the way it's played. It's annoying. Sink the ship, get back home, and we keep it moving. We keep it moving. That's the plan. That's the plan. You see, I'm very sick of talking about Navy. I'm sick of talking about Navy. It was different talking about Ohio State week 1 last year. That's totally different. There's way more things to pull from and narratives that apply and everything else. I'm sick of talking about Navy. Kick the crap out of them. Get it over with. Get back home. And then we're back in America doing our thing. That's what I need to happen, all right? So light it up in the chat. Light it up if you want to call. Here's the other thing I'm going to tell you guys. When I say we've reached a saturation point, I mean that. There is not the same volume this week of callers and people backed up wanting to get their thoughts out about this because everything that's pretty much could be said has been said. I have noticed there's like a crescendo and then you start leveling off until you get the first body of results and evidence to react to. And that's where we're at. That's about where we're at. Everybody just needs to see the level we're starting at, to know where we're going to go. That's the biggest thing about this game, week 1. I want to know what level this team is starting at. Ranging from way ahead of schedule, got it all put together, handled the game plan for Navy beautifully with a month to prepare, and I'm feeling like we're ahead of schedule. All the way down to this is a cluster again, like second half last year, and I'm pulling my hair out. All of those are on the table. Where on this meter is Notre Dame going to be starting from? That's what this project is about tomorrow. Let me know you got it all put together and I can trust you right out of the gate. You got a month to prepare for this. There's no excuse to be confused by what Navy's doing. I'm going to lose it. Lose it. You had a month. You should have prepared for everything that could ever happen in this game. Be ready. Let's get into some chats, some donations, and a couple of my notes. And then we'll see what happens. Okay? Who's your daddy? 454. We'll all be up tomorrow at this time, joining Pat for some AM drinking while waiting Waiting for the game to begin. Man, we're that sure Pat's drinking Miller Lite for breakfast, huh? I like it. Matt Miller, good to see you. Regular on the show, Matt. I appreciate it all through the offseason. You're here, baby. Today is like Christmas Eve. Excited for what is to come in the morning. Nervous that you might be gifted some not so desirable gifts. Go Irish. I'm telling you, this is the irony. All last summer and everything, we can't wait for football. When's Notre Dame? We can't wait to have the season back. And then what happened? It took us 3 weeks to win a game. You know, we started out at a losing and all the vibes were dead. And then you were going, oh, this is what I was begging for all summer. Awesome. Love it. Let's hope that doesn't happen this year. And we get a bigger run up of feeling encouraged before, anything bad happens. That's the irony in all of it. You spend all these sleepless nights and all through the summer worried about Notre Dame. And then if we're no good, it's like, oh, this is what I waited for. Now I'm more miserable than when I waited. Got to avoid that this year, hopefully. But it really is like Christmas Eve. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There will be football on, and hopefully we'll have some fun and have some good cheer. It's the most wonderful time because football time's here. Give me some football. Give me some Notre Dame football. Did you see those Ireland flags that are on where the top of the helmet connects, the top of the face mask connects with the helmet? They got the Ireland flag right there. I'm telling you, I love it. I love it. I love everything about this trip to Ireland. It's got to include us kicking the crap out of them like 42-10 or something for me to be happy. I don't want to go live tomorrow, 1 minute after this game, and my hair is all falling out and I look like a cone head. I'm serious. Like, get it together, Notre Dame. Don't do this to me. And have all of us sweating it out on the edge of our seats against Navy week 1. I'm not up for that. And it's going to make for a really rough post-game show. Easy and breezy, baby. That's what I'm going for. I need easy and breezy. All right? That's what I need. Who do we got? C. Jones. Always Irish morning show. Always Irish evening show. Throw in a happy hour in between. You got yourself a Friday. Nothing beats opening kickoff eve. There is nothing that beats it. That burning sensation, that anxiety, the excitement, hope is abound for everybody. And the other thing, you guys, to remember is Notre Dame's got the biggest game of this weekend. Everybody's got that kind of slid by me at first for a while. The realization that Notre Dame's playing week 0, not week 1, means there's not a lot of high-profile games this week. It's Notre Dame and USC and San Jose State, I believe, are the only two with ranked teams. We talk about it all the time. Notre Dame's getting all that national attention. Everybody that can't wait for football, Notre Dame's going to be on everybody's screen tomorrow. Everybody. I really want you to think about this. This isn't Navy week 7, and there's 80 other games on, and everybody's watching their team. And because we're playing Navy, it's in a non-prime time slot and all that. This ain't that. This is very different. Everybody in America that misses college football is going to be watching Notre Dame tomorrow. Over half those people want Notre Dame to fail. Everybody needs to understand that. Over half the people tuning in tomorrow want Notre Dame to fail. That's what we're up against, damn it. That's what we're up against, and everybody needs to know it. Know it and own it, okay? This is a big showcase tomorrow. I'm not having all of America watch Notre Dame struggle against Navy tomorrow. We're not doing that. We're not going down that path. All of America is watching you. It is your time to shine, your time to start changing the narratives around Notre Dame football. Everybody's watching you. You got the biggest game on TV this weekend. We might have a call from Dublin, Ireland. Let's see. Hello.
Hello, John. How you doing?
It's Dr. John with a live report from the Dublin pub scene. Dr. John, what's going on over there?
Well, I tried to chat you, but it wouldn't go through. So we are at the Neptune Bar in our B&B in Bettystown, and everybody is just eager to get at Navy. So what's the consensus?
John, everybody is so excited. It's Christmas Eve for Notre Dame fans. Everybody's excited, and we're just ready to be able to react to something. There's not much else we could say and ask and wonder. We're ready for some action. What are the vibes over there, Dr. John? Is there just Notre Dame people everywhere and everybody connects with everybody and is having a great time, or what?
I'll tell you, we're all over the place. Somebody had said on our travels that it's the biggest invasion of Americans since World War II.
John, I saw that. I saw that on Twitter. That has been out there. That is absolutely amazing. And there's a lot of Notre Dame people going over. I keep seeing the messages and the pictures. So safe flight and all that. You got in good?
Yeah, things are great. I got my two daughters watching. My brother, Jim, who I told you some time ago was an asshole. He's sitting outside. He doesn't want to watch her for some reason, but
I don't blame him.
I'll holler. I tell you what, John, I think you ought to say hi to him anyway, will you?
Oh yeah.
Hang on a minute. I'm walking over. I'm walking over to him right now. You know, we got domers all over the place here. So anyway, he's sitting here out here in the beer garden with his Irish hat on and having a brew. So here he is.
I like that.
Hey, Johnny, how you doing?
Dr. John's brother, what's going on? Hey, are you keeping your brother in line? Are you watching him? He's not going to get locked up at an Ireland pub, is he? You better watch him. He's wild.
Hey, I'll try that. All right. Can you hear me, Johnny?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, hey. Hey, you know, Dr. John thinks you are so cool, and I try and straighten him out, but he just won't listen to me. You know what I mean?
Hey, I appreciate Dr. John. He's my surrogate Notre Dame grandfather figure, and I really do appreciate it. I do. I genuinely do.
Well, I'll tell you what, we have a lot of fun listening to you. I listened to you on Monday. I was going to try and call in, but I couldn't get through. The lines were so busy. So you're a popular guy, you know?
Hey, man, everybody's excited right now. You know, everybody wants to have their voice heard here about what we're going to see next day. It's amazing, man. This is Christmas Eve for Notre Dame fans right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Johnny.
Hey, you guys have fun out there. Be safe.
All right, I'm back at you here, John. Hang on a minute.
All right.
Oh, hang on. I guess I got you on speaker.
All right. I got you. Dr. John, I got to ask, what are the vibes? Like, I know you're having fun and it's a touristy thing to do and that kind of trip. What are the football vibes? Like, is anybody nervous about the game? Or are they confident? Like, what's the feeling about the football, not just the fun social stuff?
Well, I think to this point, everybody's been so enamored and involved in their trips, they really haven't been expounding on the game at all. A lot more domers than Navy guys around.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured that would be the case. So Dr. John, I don't know. We're ready to see something. We need to react to something. And so everybody's on the edge of their seat, and we're just waiting to see what we're going to get. We just don't know, and we're waiting to see.
Yeah, and that's going to be the exciting part. There's just a lot of questions to be answered, and hopefully we're going to find out.
Yeah.
Our biggest problem Go ahead. Our biggest problem here now, we know how we're getting to the game, but we don't know how we're getting back to our place, which is 40 kilometers north of Dublin. So we may be on the street with our thumb out. I don't know.
Yeah, you might have to hitchhike with an old local or something there. I can't help you on that one. So I don't know, Dr. John. Everybody's just kind of worked up, wound a little tight here. Excited, but anxious because we've been burned by Notre Dame before. So we're hoping that it's smooth sailing tomorrow. Marcus, I don't know if you saw this. You're busy. Marcus said that the team is excited and ready. And if that's the case, I expect some good football tomorrow by us.
Did they have a walkthrough today or a practice?
I know they did a walkthrough yesterday. I saw the guys with no pads, just shells, and they were doing a walkthrough at the stadium. They're there. They look excited, ready to go. And I think we're going to see some good football, Dr. John. This team has a little different vibe to it, and I'm excited to see what it looks like.
Well, I tell you what, just talking to you is getting me hyped up right now. So I hope to hook up with Jay Lehman tomorrow at Slattery's near the stadium, but we'll see if that works out.
Yeah, all you can do is try. It's hard when you're doing everybody's kind of coming from different places. So do you have decent seats tomorrow? Where are you going to be at in the stadium? Are you familiar with the setup?
Yeah, I've been in that stadium in 2012. Where I know we're in the upper deck, section 120 and 119, which is in a corner. I don't know which end zone it is though. So,
that's going to be
anyway.
fun.
Yeah,
we're
tapping at the bit too.
Hey, let me ask this.
Say again?
What's the weather report tomorrow? I saw 70 to 80% rain. Are you aware of that? What's the weather supposed to be local tomorrow?
Well, it said like 70 at 7 p.m. The game's at 7:30, but then it drops down to like 30 and then 20. So, hopefully it won't happen.
Yeah, hopefully. And I don't know. I don't know if that helps or hurts either side. I don't know. I could see it helping the run-based team, but I could also see the ball slipping out of your hand on a pitch or something. So I don't know who that helps or not.
Sure.
Go play good football and it won't matter. That's my opinion.
That's right. It's a beautiful day here today. Sunshine and not quite 70, but it's a gorgeous day.
Man,
should have played today.
Yeah, get out there, man. Get out there. Get your mind off the football. Man, John, I don't know. We're just gonna have to see how it goes tomorrow. I am maxed out. I have no more questions, no more theories, no more philosophies. Like, it's all laid out there. And now we just have to see where it falls, where the realities are.
Hey, let's kick it off and get at it.
That's what I'm talking about, Dr. John. Hey, I really appreciate you. Give me a call. I'll let you go. I'll let you guys go have your fun. But I wanted to make sure we connected, my friend.
We're having a couple of pints, so go Irish, and we may have to call you tomorrow night and ask you to get us a way back.
Yeah, there you go. I'll network it for you. Let me know if you need it. I'll be live. Give me a call. Always Irish taxi service.
Okay, John.
Always Irish taxi
Good
service.
Show. Go Irish.
Go Irish. Oh, my God. That's great. Dr. John live from a Dublin bar. You can't beat it. We got some super chats to get to. Morning, team. I'm truly wishing that I was in Ireland for the opener. As press or a fan, I can't decide. I don't know when was the last time I've been this excited about an ND opener. Man, it's hard to say, but like almost every year, you're excited and really excited just because it's the first game. And you just don't know if you're good or bad yet. So you're allowed to be happy and you're allowed to dream. And you're allowed to do all that before the first game. What do we got? Bruce, I'm starting to have an odd feeling like this season could be special, but let's go beat the brakes off Navy and set the tone. Well, here's the thing about that. A lot of the years Notre Dame doesn't start ranked in the top 10 or in the top 5. There's some of Notre Dame's better years. It is weird the way that works out. And so I don't know what causes that. But even like a year like last year where Notre Dame was started in the top 5, I didn't feel like we were a top 5 team. Like, no, I didn't. Even with the healthy Buckner, I had major questions about that, and we had no wide receivers. And we started the year in the top 5. That never made sense to me. I like where Notre Dame's at. I think this is sneaky for Notre Dame. You're out of the top 10. You're not getting a ton of smoke nationally. If you navigate it right, you have a 4-game run up to Ohio State where you could go under the radar, move into the top 10, quietly win your games. And then before you know it, you have the opportunity of a lifetime in front of you against Ohio State at home in the late September sunset. You can't beat it. You can't beat that. Like, that needs to be what this turns into. It needs to be what this turns into. And so I like it. Let Notre Dame fly under that national radar and quietly win their games and move right up. And then you have the game of all games against Ohio State right in front of you. But you can't go 4-0 till you're 3-0. And you can't go 3-0 till you're 2-0. And you can't go 2-0 unless you sink that ship. Sink it. What do we got? Domer guy. I want to see ND cover. That's what they should do. Will they is a different question. I've been an ND fan a long time to know nothing is a given. Yeah. You know what else they should have covered? The 17.5 points they were favored at home over Stanford and Marshall last year. People always ask, John, as much as you follow Notre Dame, do you bet on them? Are you out of your damn mind? Are you seriously out of your mind? The fact that I covered Notre Dame so closely, personally and for work, is the exact reason I never do it, because I know how you can't rely on Notre Dame. 17.5 point favorites at home against Marshall and Stanford. Not only did you not cover, you actually lost the game. I can't imagine being a bettor betting on Notre Dame. Oh, my God. Mikey Poles, that's my security guard for Central Michigan. I agree with you. Last year, I was really excited to see a new coach team. This year, with an elite level quarterback, I'm more excited for the possibilities of where the team could go. Mikey, you're right on it, bud. What I wrote in the article yesterday that I'll probably post today on Irish Wire was about, with Hartman, anything's possible. This is different. This is starting in a different place than even the good Kelly years. Even the good Ian Book undefeated years and all that. No. This is starting at a different spot. And what I mean by that is higher results are possible if everything else comes together this year than all those other years. Just because Sam Hartman's in the building, that changes the possibility right away. Right away. And the thing is, none of us know what that's like. It's been too long. It's been too long. When is the last time Notre Dame went into a season with a quarterback that you felt like was like a playoff level quarterback? When was that? Tell me the year. Tell me the player. When would that have been? Because it ain't anything recent. Even the good Ian Book years, nobody can tell me you felt good about Ian Book in the biggest game against the best talent we play. No one can tell me they felt like we're going in there with a quarterback that can make all the plays we need to make today. You're lying if you tell me that, because I know it ain't true. And if you did think it's true, you don't know football. You don't know football. If you went into the playoff thinking Ian Book can sling it around how I need it to, you weren't paying attention and you don't know football. So based off that alone, everything's different this year. If other stuff comes together, you at least know that quarterback's not going to hold you back. And I haven't been able to say that in decades. Maybe not that long, but it's been a long time. That right away changes everything that could go on this year on the high end. It's a whole different ball game. Domer guy. Want to see Hartman throw that rock downfield often. Want to see Hartman out at the half, and then I want to see a jelly throw the rock often. Woo! Hartman out at the half. Are you going to get enough possessions against Navy to get ahead by that much to be able to do that? That's my question. I'm hopeful, but I don't know. Are you going to get enough possessions to make that a practical reality? I don't know. Here's the other thing about throwing it downfield often. Navy was like 120 something defending the pass. Like it was their weak point last year was defending the pass. They are going to feel obligated to try and not let Notre Dame's running game get crazy. They are going to have to either allocate more guys near the line or try and crash the line right after the snap. Hartman's got to beat him. Merriweather, get open. The young guys, Flores, great, get open. Hartman's got to beat him. That intermediate deep passing game must be a part of the plan tomorrow. It cannot just be we're just going to run it and think we could go over the Navy guys doing that. It didn't work last year in the second half. You're going to need to throw the ball around. I don't think that's going to be a luxury. To play Navy properly tomorrow, Notre Dame's going to have to throw it around. And I'm excited to see it because physically, we should have the advantage. And if you want to build confidence and rapport between Hartman and these younger guys, that's the way to do it. Is to have matchups they could win while they're learning on the job here. Get Flores and Greathouse and Merriweather involved and build that confidence and rapport. Let Hartman know that when he's on the plane coming back to America, he feels like he's got receivers he can trust and throw to. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Okay? Oh, boy. What do we got here from Hoosier? Let's see Tyree take a pump back. Hey, you know me in special teams. Adam Dowling, what's going on? Domer guy. Just because the backups come in doesn't mean the game plan stops. If I was a coach, that's how it'd build depth. Yeah, you know what, you guys, that's another complaint I have often is all these coaches talk about the value of like emptying out their bench, getting the second team reps, a game's out of reach or whatever. They will all tell you how important it is to get these guys real game reps, but then they put them in the game and they don't let them run the offense. And all they're doing is handing the ball off and doing nothing. I never liked that. Like, I'm sick of these coaches saying we need to get our guys some work, and they put them in, but they're not running a real offense. How much value are you getting handing the ball off at the end of the game? Like, or you're getting so conservative, you're not running your original plan. Like, come on, man. So I would like to see them actually work on stuff. Here's what I don't want to see is they blow the game wide open in the first half, like all the time. Then Freeman comes out with no play in the second half and we lose her. It's a hell of a battle. Well, let me tell you this. If Notre Dame didn't learn from last year, I can't help you. Like Al Golden and everybody involved with that defense, and then on offense, the blocking scheme. I'm telling you guys, it was a breakdown on both sides. Offensively, we literally could not gain a yard that half. The quarterback turtled, the O-line got scared, and everything was moving fast, and Navy was beating the crap out of us. Is that on your radar? We got new guards in here. You got one offensive lineman, maybe with an ankle. You're breaking in new guards. Are they going to be able to hold up? What's your anxiety level on that? What's your anxiety level on that? We didn't do a good job last year. I need those guards to be better. I know Hartman's going to do a better job of getting rid of the ball when he needs to and finding the proper outlet. But it's just, you don't have to look that far back to find Notre Dame Navy stress. All you got to do is go back to last year's game. Al Golden, everybody, it better be tightened up on defense. You had a month to prepare. I'm not You don't get to prepare for a month just for this game, have a decided physical advantage across the board, and then struggle against Navy, and then have me come in the post-game show and make excuses for you. That ain't happening. I have high expectations for this team with a month to prepare. Marcus said they're excited and they're ready. We're going to test that theory. If you're ready, it means you're guarding the fullback. It means there's no broken chunk plays on you. It means you can move the ball on offense. And if you're excited, it's on my list. I want to see Notre Dame play with emotion and intensity beginning to end. I need to see a new attitude form in Notre Dame football's program where just winning isn't enough. Burying the other team has to be the goal. We're changing our mindset, you guys. Just winning and being glad we won, and we're relieved we beat Navy barely, and we're just glad we got out of there with the win. Those days need to be over. The attitude needs to change in this program somehow. And you can't fake it. That's the other thing. You can't fake it. I am not asking for fake swag. I'm asking that your play allows you to walk around with your shoulders out a little bit, feeling like you're somebody. But that only happens if you kick the shit out of people. I want that whole attitude to change. I want Notre Dame to be piling it on people. I'm none of this, we're going to take it easy, or we're just going to do this, and we don't want to score again. No. You need to change the mindset of your guys into kill mode. It's never enough. There's no amount you can win by that's enough against anybody. That's a big thing this year. I want their mind state to change. Just getting by with wins shouldn't be good enough. I want you to lay it on somebody. And again, I'm going to mention it. Everybody's watching you tomorrow. Everybody in America is dying to have football back. They're all tuning in to watch Notre Dame tomorrow. Over half of them want us to fail. They're going to be cracking beers going, screw Notre Dame. I want John to lose his mind. I can't wait for Navy to beat us. This is going to be great. I need you to ruin all those people's days and make ours. That's what I need. Okay? Matt Miller, what do we got? Let's see if this team has the killer instinct that has been extinct for way too long. Matt, it's like you're in my brain, man. Right when I said it, you write it. Like, I want to see an attitude shift, and I want to see a change. And I'm going to tell you this too. And I think this is a part of it. I feel like with Hartman here, the attitude has changed a little bit. And follow me here. I felt this in camp. I feel like starting camp, going into it, there was a little more energy than usual and a better vibe and a little more lively and just a little more like amped up. And I'm starting to wonder if some of that isn't from the fact that these guys know they have a real opportunity because they have a real quarterback. The quarterback is in this case, practical, actual, and metaphysical, psychological captain of the team. The quarterback's the most important individual position in all of sports. And I think Notre Dame's whole team got a boost coming into fall camp and having Sam Hartman there. I felt like I felt and saw that those guys had a better vibe, more energy, and they kind of know in the back of their mind, we got something here. This could really be something. I feel like I've seen that and felt that vibe. But if they don't play well tomorrow, then it was garbage, and it means nothing. That's the other thing. All those reports you hear from camp and the defense looks better and the whatever it is. Oh, the vibes are good and the energy's up and all that. If you play bad tomorrow, all of it was poop. All of it was feces. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. None of the articles, nobody giving a podcast. I was at practice. The vibes are good. The energy's good. If you go play like crap tomorrow, it's all for nothing and it doesn't matter. This is your opportunity. Those 60 minutes are your showcase. And it's the theme of the day. Over half the people tuning in want to see you lose. You got to understand that. We're not all in this together on NBC watching our favorite team, America's team, Ireland's team. That ain't it. Over half those people want us to fail. And they want me to be miserable tomorrow. Don't let it happen. Don't let it happen. We got a $5 holler from Willie B. Artigan. That is a personal question I don't want to answer. $5 holler. I can't focus at work. Kickoff can't come soon enough. Strike first. Strike hard. No mercy. P.S. I might show up at the Central Tailgate as a leprechaun. Go for it. Everywhere I go, I bring Lenny my leprechaun mask. He was at the blue and gold tailgate for good luck. He was at the Sam Hartman signing for good luck, and he'll be at this one. You'll fit right in. It is funny. People like taking pictures with the leprechaun mask. The kids put it on. It's a beautiful thing. He's my mascot. It's Lenny the leprechaun. Everybody knows that. Thanks for the donation, Willie. Mark with glasses doing some good editing work for Johnny here. It's the final season of the Pac-12, the Big 12 with Texas and Oklahoma, the 4-team playoff, and most importantly, the end of the big and rich college football game day song. Bino would be rolling in his grave. You know what, man, Mark? I got to give you a lot of credit for remembering Bino. Anybody younger maybe doesn't, but old Bino Cook, and I used to love, my dad and grandpa would listen to Bino talk about Notre Dame and all that. Good old boy. Oh, man. Those were the days. Those were the days. Mark with glasses again. I hate it when you get a big lead and just have backups run the ball for 3 plays and punt to keep the clock running. I hope Peanut Butter and Jelly gets to throw a little and run a real offense for experience. Now, wait a damn second. If we're in the position for Angeli to get a lot of play tomorrow, that'd be a really good sign. Like, that's the first thing. Before we complain about what they're letting Angeli do or not do or not run, can we first make sure we're in a position where Angeli can play? Like, one thing at a time here. Justin, good morning, always Irish family. Sink the ship. Thanks for being here. Angela, it's always good to have a Rudiger in the chat. The only thing better is having 2. Can only listen for a little. Headed to old Joliet. Can you keep me entertained on the drive? Oh, the old diocese of Joliet. John's old school diocese and former employer. That's true, people. I worked for the church. Let it sink in your head. Johnny was a diocese employee. Good little Catholic boy I am. $2 holler from the Phil Master. It's game day eve. The house be sleepless tonight. Tossing and turning. And what are we going to get? And then you wake up tomorrow and it's game day. You waited all these months, about 8 of them, and it's finally back. Game day, baby. Game day. Make sure to leave out a pint of Guinness and corned beef hash sandwich for when the leprechaun visits on the eve of Notre Dame football. I like that, actually. That's beautiful. You just, instead of cookies, you put a beer out, and then the leprechaun just drinks at every house. We're going to start this tradition. Thanks for the $2 holler, Phil. I really appreciate it. Ryan, it's good to see you. Joshua, it's good to see you. Nolan. What do we got here? A little golf? I'm playing in a golf tournament in Oklahoma. If I make the cut, I'll probably miss the game tomorrow, but I need to make money. Nolan, congratulations, man. I'm assuming you're on some mini tour or something if you're at that level to be able to make money and have a real cut. I'm telling you, a bunch of guys I worked with when I worked in the country club scene, a lot of those guys were living out of their car, scrounging up money to be able to enter these tournaments, sleep in their car, play golf just to get by, keep playing, earn a little cash. You got to be dedicated. It's a rough life. And the other thing I learned is at that level, a lot of those guys can all hit the ball pure. It's about who makes putts from about 18 and in. All those guys can hit it far, flush their wedges, all that. It's a matter of who makes putts from like 18 feet in, and that's who makes the money on them mini tours. Nolan, congratulations. And I'm going to tell you this, Nolan. If there's one thing that I will accept maybe missing a Notre Dame game for, it'd be you playing in a competitive golf tournament and trying to make the cut, make money. That's like one of the only valid excuses to miss a Notre Dame game. Good for you, Nolan. I'm rooting for you. And let me know how you play. $20 holler from the V1. Rotate V2. $20 holler. Cheer, cheer for old Notre Dame. Wake up the echoes cheering your name. Send a volley. Cheer on high. Shake down the thunder from the sky. What though the odds be great or small? Old Notre Dame will win overall, except for against Marshall and Stanford at home as 18-point favorites. I'm sorry, you guys. My life as a Notre Dame fan has not been glorious. It's just, what though the odds be great or small? Old Notre Dame will win overall till mighty Marshall rolls to town. Till Cincinnati comes to town to play Kelly. You know, like, it's like, yeah, this song applied when Frank was around. The song applied a lot more when Frank and the Fighting Irish were here running things. Oh, man, this is great. We got a bunch of donations. I got to get to these. Pat says 45-3. Anybody else with the score prediction, let me know. 45-3. Ooh! John's hair will start growing back instead of falling out. You get that going. Eric, the new running clock rule will have virtually zero effect on ND scoring. Hartman needs to play less plays to score. Hartman throws bombs after bombs. Look at his film. Now, Eric, there's two things I want to mention on this point. Two things. I heard they did some research on the new running clock rules, and they came up with a calculation of 2 less snaps per quarter is what they came up with. When you look at the time that's going to be killed, not stopping that clock, 2 plays per quarter. Now, my thought is, I think that will be exaggerated against Navy because Navy already shortens the game and you get less offensive snaps anyways. So if it's 2 a quarter against anybody, I expect it to be a little more exaggerated against these guys because of the way that they're going to try and speed the game up and move the clock. So I don't know. And then Hartman throws bombs after bombs. Here's something to consider too. I don't think Hartman had the best offensive line and running situation last year at Wake. He did have some more athletic receivers. I think he's going to throw less bombs at Notre Dame than he did at Wake because he's going to have the complement of a running game that's decent. And I don't think he's going to be throwing it around the same way he did for that reason. I just think that you don't have to. You can balance it out with that running game and then more pick your spots with that. Steven Arado, he says the bourbon will be flowing. Bradley A's. Whole world will be watching ND tomorrow. First game of the season. Again, Notre Dame fans need to understand it. You got to look at it this way. This is not week 1 when there's 50 different games and all the attention is divided and all these fan bases are just wrapped into the world of their team's first game. This ain't that. This ain't that. This changes things. This is a national spotlight game for Notre Dame, even though it's Navy. That matters. That changes things. Look at it this way. All of America is happy to have football back, and they're all tuning in for the first game of the year. And you know what it is? Notre Dame. Notre Dame. It's the first real game of the year that matters in any level of football, and it's us. And it's us. With that comes a great, great, great opportunity, but only if you navigate it right. Only if you navigate it right. It's a great opportunity to show off what you can be. Make it happen. Look at this. Look at that. Eric, $100 holler, and I appreciate that. You just paid for the first few post-game college shows, Eric. Thank you. 42 Notre Dame, 0 Navy. ND will overwhelm Navy on both sides of the ball, and Jelly plays the entire fourth quarter and looks average at best. If it's 42-0, we're going to be in a good mood on the post-game show. We're going to be in a good mood in the post-game show. The $100 holler is amazing. Thank you, Eric. That means a lot to me. It really does. It keeps the show going, call-in lines, the technology, the streaming, keeps it all going, the equipment, all of it, okay? Here's something to consider on the Notre Dame end of this. I've listened to some of the Navy guys. There's one guy that's like the beat reporter for Navy, and he was on a Notre Dame show as a guest, and they wanted his opinion on what's going on with the Navy side of things. I don't think their offense is going to be synced up yet tomorrow. That offense takes time to get rhythm, timing, precision, all of that. It always takes time. The last 3 years, Navy scored 7 points, 3 points in their first game. All 3 of them were against non-Power 5 lower level opponents. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? They start slow. Now this year, they're messing with 2 quarterbacks. And I didn't know this. And a third quarterback, they wanted to be the starter, but had to go to summer school and then missed all the practices, and he ain't the starter. If Navy comes out running a well-oiled offensive machine, I'm going to be shocked. And yeah, some of it has to do with the talent advantage Notre Dame has over them, but a lot of it has to do with that dynamic. That offense takes time to get cranked up, and it ain't going to have that time. And then you're playing better, faster, bigger Notre Dame athletes. You don't have a lot of leeway tomorrow if you're Navy. You don't have a lot of leeway. And I need Notre Dame to take advantage of that and expose that is what I need. John, got the chills. Cannot wait. Telling you, man. This is Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve. Phil, what do we got? This is a different team we have this year. I'm telling everybody, relax. Things are going to be good. We'll be much better than people, including us, will expect. Here's what I've been saying, Phil, about all of the expectations on the high end. All of the people saying, you know, Notre Dame could be a playoff team and all this. And I believe it when I see it. Believe it when I see it. Like, I know Sam Hartman raises the bar of what's possible here, but only if all the other pieces fall into place too. Like, I know Sam Hartman could be what I need him to be, but if your guards get pushed around, that's going to limit what Sam Hartman could do. If the defense is going to get shredded tomorrow by the fullback dive, it doesn't matter how good Hartman is. So I want to believe in all these high-end expectations that Notre Dame, inside Notre Dame, that the fans and the media have. But I got to see it to believe it. I got to see it to believe it. That's as fair as it gets. A boring football game. Just own them. It is really a boring football game. It really is. This show is taken over since the early days. Multiple live stream, lots of people. The team better not stink it up like last year. We're not doing that. We're going to have a good post-game show. Now, the sad part is, this is embarrassing to admit. Because of my reputation, my numbers are always the highest when something bad happens. Not good. And it's just kind of sad. But the way I blow up at things, whenever something bad happens, Notre Dame loses a game, the Ludwig thing, whatever it is, whenever it's something bad, Buckner getting hurt last year, whenever it's something bad, my numbers skyrocket. It is absolutely wild. But the highest numbers I get are when something bad happens. So I guess I'm saying I don't want numbers off the charts tomorrow. That's kind of messed up to say when you do YouTube, but I don't want high numbers because the highest numbers I get are when we lose. Unbelievable. What else do we have? Man, you guys are all over. You guys are all over it. Against crappy competition, these practice playmakers from all the highlight clips should look the part. Yeah, I hope so. You know what I've been thinking about is some of the reports out of camp that as athletic as this wide receiver group is starting to become, they've really been having trouble breaking out, establishing themselves, being consistent, getting open, catching the ball, all of that. Like, it hasn't been the smoothest ramp up for those wide receivers. I'm open to the idea that a part of that is our corners are as good as the media is saying they are. I'm open to that a little bit. But if they're really rolling out that many guys in the secondary that everybody feels like can defend the pass that great, and it's the best back end we've had there since Vontez Duff and all this. Fine. I'm open to that. But then if they're that good, when you get in this game against Navy's short guys that you're faster than, you better burn them. You better torch them then. You better torch them. These 2 weeks are the 2 weeks to get those wide receivers confidence early before you go to NC State and face some bigger, more competitive athletes. Navy and Tennessee State allowed Notre Dame that run up an opportunity. And I hope they take it. I hope they take it. Lori, I think we will go 8-2 this season. I appreciate you mentioning that. But I got to ask where the other games went, Lori. I really appreciate it, but I want to know where the other games went. Is this season canceled? Thanks for being here, though. I really do appreciate it, Lori. 8-2. I just got to know what's with the other two. Can they go on the plus end? Give me it on the plus end. Oh my, look at this. Pat, did you see this? One of them is the picture, and one of them is the name. Pat, this is perfect for you. Brian Kelly's caddy. That's unbelievable. Ready to lose my damn mind this weekend. You already look like you did in that photo. The hell's going on? Oh, man, that's funny. Ryan 661D sits behind us. Can you give us an off-season review? Who came, who left, who quit, NIL hires, lack of hires, retirement announcement. It's been so fluid, it's hard to remember it all. And you know what, you guys? Maybe I should be thankful of that. Notre Dame had a very activity-filled offseason. Coaches coming and going. Coaches being hired and coming and going. Players coming and going. Frontline players. Starters coming and going. Maybe I should be glad we had an eventful offseason. It's just that I wish the events were all on the positive end. And I think the biggest one that probably sparked things was the Ludwig thing. That was a big deal. That was a big deal. I don't think it's a surprise what happened with Pine and Buckner. Yeah, but man, that Ludwig thing. So I don't know. It's been a busy off season. Brian Kelly's caddy, even more ready to get a hammered Pat on the post-game show. Pat's always on his best behavior. I don't know what you're talking about. $20 holler from the Homer TD. Man, you guys are awesome. It's one thing when you donate and you want your, what you want to say to get out or whatever. It's a totally different thing to just throw the guy some money as a tip. I appreciate it. Man, you guys are good. Somebody wrote, I moved past it. Somebody wrote that the preseason fatigue is palpable. That's where I'm at. I could feel it. It's a big up and a down. It's a big up and a down. And you start in the beginning of fall camp and we get that build up and the excitement, and then you plateau. We're right there. People are at their limit. People are at their limit. They're right there, man. And we just need action to react to. We need action to react to. Look at this. Eric, John, you're rolling in the dough this morning. John's getting a new car today. Well, not quite, but I am able to pay for the phone lines. Jer, I'm going to die watching a Notre Dame game, I think. Yeah, I don't think for me it'll be during the game. It'll be on the air. And at least I'm going to do great ratings on the way out. Like, I'm just going to, yell about something to the point where I literally stroke out and all you guys could see it. And that'll be it. But at least it's like Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter. At least I'll go out doing what I love to do, yelling about Notre Dame. So, yeah, I don't think mine's going to come during a game. It's going to come on one of these shows. Oh, man. Robert says, the boys are back and they're looking for trouble. They better be looking for trouble. I need an attitude. I want to see Notre Dame come out ready to kill people. I want to see Notre Dame come out and lay on these guys and hit these guys. I want to hear the pop of the hits. Okay? I need Notre Dame to do some damage tomorrow, man. All that frustration of last year, everybody mocking you, not being good in the ratings, losing dumb games, Williams clowning you on the national stage, all of that stuff. Now's the time to start making up for it. That's all you can do is get him in the next game, and you're America's game tomorrow. Notre Dame is America's game tomorrow. You got to look good, and you got to be good, and you got to play good. You just do. Ooh, look at that. 53-10. Love it. 45-6. I love it. So a bunch of you guys got Notre Dame scoring a lot and not giving up a lot. It's a great recipe. It's what I want. But I got to see it to believe it. I got to see you do it before I could believe it. Notre Dame is not Georgia. You don't have a bunch of elite credibility in your back pocket. Notre Dame's not that. We do not have a bunch of that big game credibility that you're just, you're good and you're elite. We don't have none of that. We don't have none of that, man. You got to go earn it and create it. You don't just come in the year and you have it. You got to earn it. Jacob Brown. Hello, ND Nation, John, trolls, and haters. Welcome in. We got a little bit of everybody. Who's your daddy? That filthy rich lawyer hooked John up with a hundo. Imagine the women that guy could pull. He's a player. He's a player for sure. Holding it down in Michigan as a Notre Dame fan. Being I forget what kind of lawyer. Did he say he was? I forget what kind. I don't want to talk about his business. I forget which area of law he's in. Mark, Navy stinks. First impressions leave an impression. Blow them out. That's what I want to see too. I want all of these people who are building their day tomorrow. Do you know how many people in my own life I know that have said, my entire day tomorrow is going to be based on me drinking beer and watching Notre Dame fail? That's what America wants to do tomorrow. A large portion of it, way more than there are people on our side. Like, the Notre Dame fan base is big, but there's way more people that hate us and like everybody else than when you add us all together in a pool. They're all tuning in to see us fail. You can't allow it. It's too big of a moment. It's too big of a moment. And it would even bother me if we won, but it was ugly and whatever. Even that I'm not going to like, because the haters are going to leave and go, okay, they got away with Navy, but there's still nothing. They struggled, blah, blah, blah. I want the people that want Notre Dame to lose tomorrow to turn the channel of the game off and go, damn it, Notre Dame's going to win big, and that ruins my day. That's what I want tomorrow. That's what I want tomorrow. It's Notre Dame versus the world. Notre Dame versus the world, people. 52-10. Man. I love it, you guys. I love it. But a lot of these predictions, I'm noticing, they got Notre Dame scoring a lot, Navy not scoring a lot. I love it. You know how fun that post-game show is going to be if it's 53-10? I might be able to give up my row gain. Brian, good to see you. Irish, not what's going on. Dr. John from the pub. Yeah, Beefeater, $15 a minute call here from John from Ireland. 38-17, Mark Holzum. Yeah, you better Holzum to a low score if you're Notre Dame. That's what I need you to do. Holz Navy, Holzum Navy, Holzum down to about 6 points. I want Navy to have 6 points tomorrow. 2 field goals. 2 field goals. How about that? Keep them out of the end zone. Penetrate. You know when you play bad defense against Navy? When you react instead of make shit happen. That's when you play bad against Navy. When you get back on your heels and you're unsure and you're reacting to what they're going to do, and then it's too late. You need to get in there, penetrate, and ruin whatever they want to do before it gets cooking. Before it gets cooking. That's what I need you to do, damn it. Dr. John from the alley behind the club. Yeah, I love it. I love old Dr. John. 50-10 ND. Woo! Baby. 40-point Notre Dame win. I love it. I love it. Beefeater, who's carrying Dr. John back to the hotel room? I love it, man. I love it. Look at this, Mark. Dr. John about to get detained and deported for calling somebody an a-hole. It was his brother. That doesn't matter. Mikey, this is the most accurate thing that's ever been said. Why does Dr. John sound better across the pond in a different country than he does in the U.S.? I was thinking it too. I was thinking that too. His phone line was crystal clear. He gets better service over the ocean than he does when he's in Minnesota. Pat says, I love old people. That's because you act like one most of your life. Oh, man. $10 olive from the Domer. WAP. I appreciate it. Being touted as the largest movement of Americans for an international sporting event in history. Nearly 40,000 U.S. citizens traveling to Dublin for the season opener between Navy and Notre Dame. Again, you guys, it's what Notre Dame is to so many people. And it's the money Notre Dame people have. Like, let's be honest. It's not a cheap trip to go to Dublin and do all this. Hotel, travel, getting around, entertainment, the game, whatever. This ain't a cheap trip. But Notre Dame, people like Dr. John, they got that dough, baby. Jay Lehman, they got that dough. You got that dough. So then you could go. That's what it is. You get that Irish dough, and then you get to go. It's beautiful, though. Better all be for good reason. Better all be for good reason. Can you imagine spending 20 grand or something to go to this? And Notre Dame lays an egg against Navy? Be the last trip I take to anywhere other than a graveyard. Can you imagine me flying 90 hours back on a plane all pissed off? We do all this. I go over there and you lay an egg against Navy? No. This just can't stand. It just can't be. It can't stand and it can't be. No way. Oh, no way. It's people were saying everybody's drunk and you can hear it. Oh, that's funny. Man, you guys are all over it. What do we got here? Bobby O. I was going to place a bet 2 days ago when the spread was 20.5, now 21, and feeling less confident with the weather. Pisses me off. Yeah, we went over that. I saw 70% of rain, and then it was going up and down. I don't know. A lot of people by default are saying that just favors Navy and the way they want to do things. A little rain ain't going to stop Hartman, I don't think. I'm telling you, a part of me feels like Navy ain't going to be that sharp on offense. I just think it takes them time to get running, and they don't have that time, and they're matched up against better athletes. I just think there's going to be some off timing, maybe some motion penalties. Maybe I want to see a couple balls on the ground in the backfield, a mistimed pitch, or our guys penetrate and throw it off. Somebody goes the wrong way and the ball's pitched. There's nobody back there. I want to see something dumb happen to them. Instead, everything dumb always happens to us. Nikki Dean. John, stop bringing up Marshall. I was at that game and have scars. Listen, whenever I bring up these games or go down the Notre Dame schedule this year in the summer, what do you think we're going to go? Blah, 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 blah. Whenever I do that, people gloss over games and go, easy win, keep it moving. Why are you even wasting your time talking about that? John, that's going to be an easy win for Notre Dame. Keep it moving. Bro, that's what we said about Marshall. That's what we said about Stanford. And they weren't. And so you're only as good as your most recent work. And the work last year was you lost some games you had no business losing and it ruined the whole year. I just need it to be on our radar. I need it to be on the radar. But it does rub me the wrong way when people give me a hard time for breaking down a game or worrying about a game. And it's like, John, well, why are you even worrying about that? Bro, were you a Notre Dame fan last year? That's why I'm bringing it up and I'm worried about it. Now, if Notre Dame gets to a point under Marcus Freeman, hopefully this year, that they prove their level of talent and the baseline play I'm going to give for them means they're going to beat those teams from now on, then I'd be glad to not worry about this anymore, you guys. I would be thrilled to not worry about this problem anymore. But you got to make sure you can do it. Look at this. Wow. Estimate 175, 3 touchdowns. Hartman 3. Let the insanity begin. Well, that's the opposite. If we get that tomorrow, it's going to be ultra sanity. That's going to cause sanity, not insanity. Oh. Who's your daddy? The last time we made the playoffs, they showed the 4 starting QBs for each team's picture. And I had to laugh seeing Book up there with Lawrence and the other 2 guys that year. Listen, the only way a guy like Book I could look at and feel decent about in a playoff environment is if it was with Georgia's roster. That's the only way. And Notre Dame's never going to have that level of elite talent that it makes me feel okay about a guy with Ian Book's skill set being the quarterback in that game. The only way I'd feel good with that is literal 5-star talent everywhere I need it around him. And I don't think Notre Dame's going to be in that position. So it's incumbent that you have a quarterback, the most important position in sports, that raises all that in those moments. Never had it before, might have it now. Might have it now. That's a good point. Bring for what? Bring it back for what? A dinner buffet? What are we doing? What is he coming back for? To tell me more about his decided schematic advantage? Oh, bring Charlie back. Unbelievable. Man, I'm telling you, the new names that are popping up, they're pretty entertaining. There have been some doozies. There have been just some amazing ones. Oh, man. Look at this. From Charlie again. I want to see Angeli and Price take over in the second half. Run up the score in the first half. Hey, that's one thing Notre Dame did a good job of last year. They really did run the score up in the first half. The problem was we didn't score after that. Like, what in the world does it say that Notre Dame got totally out-schemed and out-efforted and just outplayed against Navy the entire second half last year? I just find that very, very hard to believe. Like, I know it was a combination of a lot of bad things on both sides of the ball, but I'm having trouble figuring out how we got totally worked over and dominated by Navy the entire second half on both sides of the ball last year. It just seems to me that it shouldn't be possible, but it happened. It happened. Oh, look at this beefeater. Quick slants to Tyree. Secret weapon of the year. Secret weapon of the year is you're going to have these running backs you're going to like. The tight end doesn't have the Michael Mayer name, but you're going to be solid there. And if Raritan can come back even more than that, these wide receivers, some of them are going to start making enough plays. People are going to have to worry about them. When you have all that going, that's where Tyree's your weapon. He finds a soft spot in that zone. He's the one they forget about, all that stuff. When people are sending all out blitzes, all Hartman's got to do is just whip it out to Tyree. He gone. He gone. That's all you got to do. Get the ball to that kid in space and let him win the race. That's it with Tyree, you guys. He's the ultimate secret weapon. Ultimate secret weapon. And he needs to be highlighted this year. For sure. Look at this. There's one. We got look at this. Wow. Not excited about this season. I think I'm the only one. Now, I like that. And the reason why I like it is it would make me nervous if everybody was on the same page. And I believe Eric Ward's been around here, so I know he's a Notre Dame guy, not trolling, not excited. My question is, with Hartman, how could you not be? Like, of all the years you could justify having more excitement of what Notre Dame could be, it's this year. Based solely on the quarterback, even if you ignored everything else. It's the quarterback. That changes everything. The possibility of what Notre Dame can be this year is so much higher now than it was a year ago. Quarterback. It's just the most important position in sports. It dictates the needle of what you could be. And I think Notre Dame's got a good one. I do. I'm excited to see it, man. Look at this. Bobby O. Bobby O knows his depth chart. I'm impressed, Bobby. First ND offensive play will be a 75-yard bomb for a touchdown to your new Irish Payson, Jordan Faison. I like that. Did you guys hear about this kid? The walk-on who's making all the plays, and everybody's saying he's legitimately fast and really, really good and deserves a scholarship. You love to see it. It's like Rudy, but he's making more plays. People are talking about him. It's wild. Great House, hike daily. Great House is going to be great. I'd love to see it. The confidence is there. Here's what I like about Great House and Flores. Both of those guys came into Notre Dame and got right to work. There was no tiptoeing around. I'm the new guy. I'm the young guy. I'm going to find my spot in the line behind the older guys and just get in to fit in and blend in. And I'm going to red shirt. And then maybe in a year I'll get to start and all that. No. These guys came in ready to earn snaps now, right a damn way, game one, and they both did it. Flores and Great House are going to be a big part of this. And those guys came in with a work ethic and a maturity level that is impressive for freshmen. The work ethic and the mental attitude to be able to pick this all up and do it. Those guys are at a schedule, but let's see it tomorrow. Build that confidence tomorrow. And let's get everybody excited. Let's see it. Michael Parks. Let's hope it's a walk in the park tomorrow. Sam doesn't have to play hero ball like he did at Wake Forest. Hartman is going to spread the love around like peanut butter and jelly on a bread sandwich field. Go Irish, beat Navy. Man, I hope so. There genuinely needs to be a blend of run pass. It needs to be a blend of run pass. We got to see it. Pick 6 for Morrison. Oh, that'd be a great way to start. Somebody has a draw play on here. Playing hard enough ain't the standard at Notre Dame. The standard would be not even recruiting Ian Book or Drew Pine type quarterbacks. Some Notre Dame fans want to hold on to Rudyism. Let it go. I've been saying this too. And it was one of my arguments against Tommy Rees was when the offense wasn't doing what I needed it to do last year or whatever, especially when it was Pine, people were saying, oh, John, you can't blame Tommy. Look what he's dealing with. Pine, what do you expect the offense to look like? Right. I expect it to look not competitive enough, which is why I needed Rees to not recruit Drew Pine and think he could be Notre Dame's quarterback. That would have been what I wanted. Like, what are we talking about here? That's what I would have wanted. Not to recruit that guy to begin with because he's small, doesn't have a big arm, and isn't fast. Where in this dynamic does it scream future Notre Dame star quarterback? Being small, not having a big arm, and not being fast. Where exactly is the high-end skill set there I was supposed to get? Like, Michael's right. That's the problem. Notre Dame needs better quarterbacks than Drew Pine, Buckner, Ian Book, Phil, whatever. Better quarterbacks. The good news is I think we're starting to get them. Norman, Johnston, I don't care about Navy. Wake me when Ohio State comes to town. That's when the season starts. Unless Notre Dame loses one of the first four. Right? Like, it's easy to say that. Yeah, none of it matters. Wake me up till Ohio State. Norman's building in that Notre Dame's going 4-0 right away. I need it, and I want to see it. I want to see it. Tim B. Freeman said they let their foot off the gas last year, and it pissed him off watching it on the plane ride. He said they'd fix it. Show me. Yep, let's see it. Again, Freeman stated they are excited and they are ready. All right. All right. No excuses. That's what he's saying, not me. That's what the head guy's saying. So, I don't know. Come on now. Let's not be pessimistic Patties already. The Irish will show out tomorrow. 41-10 Irish. I love this in concept. I love this in concept. But until I see it, it ain't happened yet. How's the weather in Dublin? Looks like it could be some part rain tomorrow, but nothing too bad. I don't know. If you can't see the upgrade in the three quarterbacks already in a year and a half, you don't know football. Oh, yeah, it's a huge upgrade. It's a huge upgrade. Even the development you've gotten out of Angeli so far is a part of what makes this a huge upgrade. Even just that part alone makes it a huge upgrade. And the way he's developing, Minchie's development and upside, and then CJ Carr, and then if you could stack that with the guy like Deuce, then you got 23, 24, 25 stacked up with quarterbacks that are cut at a higher level. Notre Dame's turning the corner there. Landing a 25i upside guy is the next step. Because then you got a 3-year window with 3 different guys with high ceilings. Somebody's got to hit. By the way, did you guys see CJ Carr last night? He played his first high school game of the year. Looked good to me. Whipping the ball all over. Whipping the ball all over. It was beautiful to see. It was just great. So quarterbacks are the tides that raises the whole ship, everyone in the ocean, going over to Dublin. You get good quarterback play, anything's possible. Okay? Nick Dean, we should bully Navy tomorrow. Yeah, that's what John says every year, Nick. Every single year of my 38 years, even before I could talk, when I was a baby, I would take the bottle out and go, Notre Dame should bully Navy. And it was the first words I ever spoke 38 years ago. And it doesn't always happen. Doesn't always happen. It doesn't always happen. Tim B. I think Golden's D will be near elite or better this year. I expect a big upgrade in efficiency. I just think they have more depth overall, like more of a 2 deep that you could play and feel good about all those guys in it. The other thing is those red zone numbers weren't even real life. Notre Dame being dead last, 130 out of 130 teams. When it comes to defending the red zone, once a team gets in it, we were allowing 94.5% touchdown rates once a team gets to the 20. That's dead last in America. You tighten that up a little bit, and it helps everything. Like, that's the ultimate statistical anomaly. Notre Dame's defense was not that bad last year to be last place in the red zone. Come on, man. Like, that's a rough look. That's a rough look. Matthew, So Pine can't be a starter at Arizona State, but in Notre Dame, we give him the keys to the campus, and Marcus is able to get a legit QB who's proven at another school. Kelly was dragging us through the poop. Duh. Kelly made life so hard on himself by how he chose to do things. Like, Kelly went out of his way to make life hard on Kelly. He really did. Andrew, I got you. I see you. All right. I want to make sure I don't miss any of these chats before I get back to the calls. Chicks dig the stutter. It's a $5 holler. Thank you. I'm glad my son was born 2 weeks before the game. I didn't want to be a psycho watching the game in the delivery room. I'm nervous and excited. Chicks dig the stutter. Today is my daughter's 3rd birthday, and I had the exact same feeling. And we had a long NICU stay in the incubator and had all these problems, and we were up in the hospital forever. And I was just glad she was out before the game. And then she could bake in that oven and everything, and that's fine. I just needed her to be out and alive before that game. So happy 3rd birthday to her. And that's why we did the party last Saturday. 2707 dollar holler from Ray. A little love for doing such a great job, Johnny. Here is my score for the game. I like that. 27. I like how he did that and made it with the money. NDD is going to look good. The game's going to be move fast with the new rule. So there we have, Andrew, I'm coming to you. There we have somebody who's actually putting it out there with a lower score. A lot of the prediction to have Notre Dame in the 40s and up there. Ray's being a little more conservative with the way Navy likes to eat the clock. $10 holler from Andrew. The Navy game is more about the maturation of the coaches than anything. If they come out and smoke Navy, it's a good sign that we aren't taking anybody lightly and the coaches are motivating them. Andrew, I agree with you. I have been saying this shows you where we're starting at. It lets you know where in the race we're starting at. Behind, ahead, right about where you want to be. It's going to tell us how put together is this operation right away out of the gate. That's what I want to know. How damn put together is this operation right a damn way? Right away. $5 holler from Tom. Thank you very much. Go Irish. We're going to beat Navy. Chicago Catholic League style tomorrow, 42-10. Tom, I like that, man. Represent my old Southside Irish Catholic League. It's a beautiful thing. We got another $5 holler. Andrew, let me get through these couple super chats coming to you. $5 holler from James. To be honest, if Notre Dame doesn't win this game by 4 more touchdowns, it'll be a disappointment. Don't play down. I like having standards, James. I like having standards. $10 holler from the Domer. WAP. Being touted as the largest movement of Americans. We hit this one earlier. We're going to do it again because it's interesting. Touted as the largest movement of Americans for an international sporting event in history, 40,000. Notre Dame people travel heavy. Notre Dame people travel heavy. $20 holler from Omer TD. Thanks again. And then, of course, Eric, always Irish's on retainer lawyer in Michigan, $100 holler. I appreciate it. 42-0, baby. Woo! Man, that's cooking. That is cooking. All right. Let's see what Andrew's got. Happy Christmas Eve.
How's it going, John?
Man, I got to tell you, everybody's reaching an exhausted level. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's only so many different things you could talk about and worry about and we bring up. I think people are exhausted and they just want to see it now. What are you feeling?
Yeah, I agree. I think like pretty much everything that's could be said has been said.
Yep.
you could write has been written at this point. Now it's just all about the game. But you read my super chat, and that's what I wanted to kind of talk about, which is I was thinking about it. I'm really excited for year two because I do think Marcus Freeman is going to step forward as a coach because when you have a coach, you kind of try to see you want to make comparisons what type of coach can Marcus Freeman emulate. And I just always think about when I was in high school, my best friend, his dad was a legendary San Diego high school football coach. And one of his best players was getting recruited by Pete Carroll at USC. And he said that because he was the head coach of the team, Pete Carroll came down and, invited him to a USC practice. And he said Pete Carroll was the most charismatic, defensive minded coach. And his practices were extremely, extremely competitive. It was ridiculous. And I think that those extremely competitive practices translated on the field because when they played loser teams, they didn't play down to them. The second teamers wanted to come in and just beat the living heck out of people. So I kind of get that vibe. What my hope is, if Marcus Freeman turns out to be a great coach, I realize Pete Carroll had a ton more experience than Marcus Freeman before he became the USC coach, but I think that's the guy Marcus Freeman should emulate. He's got a lot of the same characteristics as Pete Carroll. He's extremely charismatic. He's defensive minded, but he's got an eye on the offensive side of the ball to recruit, really, really talented guys.
Can I ask you this part of it? Let me ask you this part of it. And I wrote about this yesterday too. Tell me if you believe this, and maybe some of this is my personality bias towards Marcus because I like it the way he operates and carries himself. But tell me if you agree with this. Unlike many recent even Notre Dame coaches, I feel like Freeman doesn't think he knows everything. Freeman doesn't have an ego I know all the answers and I know that I'm right about everything and I'm doing it my way and I don't care if results say otherwise. I know what I'm doing. I genuinely bet Freeman put a lot of thought into all of last year and changed the way he approached things or the delivery or the mentality or practically. Freeman's humble enough that I'm confident he's adapted in some things he learned from year one where he just went off instinct. And I'd be really surprised if we don't see a tighter operation this year. Do you agree, or am I getting over hopeful just because I like Marcus?
Yeah, no, I agree. And in fact, I felt that one of his best traits last year was he didn't try to micromanage his other coaches. Interestingly enough, against in the Navy game when they were trying to desperately hold on to the lead at the end of the game, Notre Dame was punting. I don't know why I remember this, but they were punting and they sort of pinned Navy back toward the end of the game, and Navy committed a penalty. And what I thought was pretty cool because of how good the special teams coach had done all year. The microphone was sort of close to the field, and you could hear Marcus Freeman go over to the special teams coach and say, "Hey, what do you want to do? Do you want to re-kick it, or do you think we should play defense right here?" And so he let that guy make the call, and I thought that was cool because a lot of do you see Brian Kelly doing that? I think Brian Kelly would just say, "I'm the boss, and I'm going to make the decision here." So
yeah,
I think to your point, I think if you earn your stripes, because that special teams coach earned the ability to make that call for how awesome the special teams were last year. So yeah, I think that's one of his great attributes is but I think you got to earn it. So he's not going to just I think he probably will have his eye on the offense to make sure Parker's got things going. And if things aren't going in that direction, I don't think he'll hesitate to make a play call here and there. But let's say the defense is really as good as what the NBA beat reporters are saying. I don't see him meddling in what Al Golden's doing. I think he's just going to, play an executive role similar to, what Pete Carroll and what his old boss at Ohio State did, which that guy, Jim Trussell, was the CEO of the team. So.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, and I don't have the answer to this, and I'm really, really interested to see, and there's no body of work yet, so we don't know. What do you think? What do you anticipate Gerard Parker to want to do tomorrow? Like when Notre Dame comes out there, the first couple possessions, are you envisioning him wanting to establish the run and see if he could play bully ball with Estime a little bit? Do you think you're going to see a blend or like some play action? Let's try and beat these guys deep early. What do you think it's going to be? And what do you want it to be? Those may be different answers.
Yeah, you know what? I think that similar to actually what they did in the first half last year to Navy, it's like, I think Tommy Rees knew.
Yeah, that worked fine. The problem was it all ended at halftime. 35 points, and then they couldn't gain a yard. Come on.
Well, I think that they
killing me.
Smoked a few cigarettes, had some beers at halftime, and took their pads off because like they totally like weren't ready. But their first half, they came out ready, and I think Rees wanted to use that game against Navy to sort of build back Drew Pine's confidence and the wide receivers' confidence, and he just like they aired it out on Navy, and I think that's got to be what you got to do here because what offensive unit is needs their confidence to be built. It's that wide receiver room, so you've got to come out and give them some layups, as well as what other position needs to work on pass protection. I would say it's the guard. The guards need to do that because if those guys aren't ready, you've got to believe NC State's a good defensive football team. They had 3 athletic freaks listed on Bruce Feldman's list, and 2 of them were on the defensive side of the ball. So NC State's going to try to go after those guards. So I think you got to air it out in the first half, really get their confidence level up.
Yep.
And then I do think that in the second half, and I was talking to people in the chat, I think that that with eyes on what happened last year, not allowing that to happen, but I don't think Notre Dame runs up the score on Navy too bad. I think this is going to be like a 35-3, 31-3 type score versus like I saw a lot of guys saying they're going to score 50 points. I don't know. I think that they're too respectful to win by like 40 or 50 points against Navy, but I fully expect them to kick Navy's butt because, like you've mentioned numerous times, Navy needs to take a few games to get well-oiled. They've got 2 quarterbacks. That's usually a really bad thing for a triple option team because if you ever see the really good triple option team, it's their quarterback is their best player. Like last year, Air Force won 10 games, and they had maybe the best. I don't know if he's returning this year, but they had the best quarterback I think I've seen at an academy school in a long time. Like that guy could play quarterback at numerous other D1 schools. So like if they've got 2 quarterbacks and haven't figured it out, they should not be able to move the ball enough. And if our D line is really as physical as what they're saying. So I think it should be an easy win. I think, and I think you should really air it out, build some confidence. Let's get, Tobias Merriweather running some post routes or touchdowns. Let's get, I would even get Colby in the game. Let's see him make some grabs. And if things aren't working, like with the veteran receivers, don't hesitate to put Greathouse in. I really believe, like, I know you're not supposed to take a lot away from a spring game, but the guy had 10 catches. He caught literally everything that Hartman threw to him. So if these guys aren't getting open and or if they're dropping passes, they cannot hesitate to put that guy in the game because at the very least, that dude catches everything.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, it should be a favorable matchup athletically to try and ease those guys in the first 2 weeks. Navy's a great chance to do it. And then Tennessee State, maybe even a better one because they play a more regular style of football game. But those young guys are going to have to be in the mix, and you got to get them comfortable somehow. Like you're going to have to throw them the ball tomorrow. Like, well, let's go. We're doing it. We're doing it. Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. I've seen some Notre Dame coverage suggesting that there's actually a possibility Notre Dame's defensive front ends up being better overall than they were last year, even with the known names and entities that we had there. Do you think that's a stretch, or do you think that they have more depth and that could actually make that a reality?
Well, a lot of guys in the chat always think I'm a negative, but I'm just like realistic. I've been a fan for Notre Dame for many years, and so I would say yes. I mean, that guy Riley Mills. Have you heard about like what he does in the the weight room. Like he can rep like 450 pounds.
Well,
and
I
he's like
believe
this freak. He's like one of these guys. Yeah.
You mentioned the freak list. I think he was on it on the Notre Dame end from Feldman, correct? I think, he was a Notre Dame guy.
He's a freak list.
But I don't think
a
lot of Notre Dame people look at him that way. I don't think Notre Dame people look at him being a physical freak in that way yet.
Well, if he can really bench 450 pounds, he should just be literally picking up Navy offensive linemen because they can't cut block anymore. And now they just do slant blocking. They cannot cut block anymore. So whoever comes at him, he should be able to just throw him and make the tackle. So I'm hopeful, but my only thing is, do you remember in the lead up to the Ohio State game, one of the Adimiola brothers was talking about how saying that last year they were the best defensive line in the country. And then Ohio State happened. And I don't think, did we even get like a pressure on CJ Stroud? But just like, I'm cautious about it. It's like, talk is cheap. I don't think these beat reporters really have a good eye for talent. I think that what they have an eye for, obviously, is who's starting and who is injured. Those are that's the things that you get out of the training camp coverage. I think that you don't find out who's good until the game's played. I mean, because like, who was talking about Logan Diggs last year? No, nobody. All the coverage in the training camp was all about Estime and Tyree, and then Logan Diggs turned out to be like maybe a top 3 player on offense. So you just don't know about it until the game starts. I'm hopeful I think the defense should thrive. And I remember me and Pat got into a big argument about this, but it's the linebacker core. Like JD Bertrand, when he wasn't suspended for doing, helmet to helmet hits, JD Bertrand was pretty awesome. Like his game against Clemson, like Benjamin Morrison gets all the ink because he got the, couple interceptions when he took to the house. But JD Bertrand literally made Shipley his little punk. Like Shipley didn't do anything the whole game. JD Bertrand was just all over him. So it's like Bertrand can just mirror that. Like that is deadly stuff. And then you've got to get something out of Botello. Like the guy blocked a couple punts last year. He looks like a beast. Like if he does not show up and give us maybe 75% of what Bosky gave us, then it's like sort of on Al Washington. It's like, how are you not getting stuff out of this guy? He's clearly athletic.
Yeah.
He can clearly play.
You know what else? Let me give you this on Bertrand. I don't know if all Notre Dame people are going to remember this. He's a good like recognition guy, getting people lined up, know where you're supposed to be, like smart about reading the plays and everything and all that. If you remember, he got injured in warm-ups of the Navy game before the game last year, couldn't play, and then it messed everything up. And maybe that's a part of the reason the defense struggled, because he's a good run stuffing guy and a guy that would help get everybody lined up to defend Navy. He went down and there's no practice time with the other guy because it was before the game. Maybe that alone will help them have a cleaner operation tomorrow.
Yeah, like if you've got a problem with, like, because a lot of fans for whatever reason do not give JD Bertrand his due. If you've got one problem with him, I would say right now he's not an NFL linebacker. I don't think he's fast enough or big enough. But I will always take a guy who's got a nose for the football. Like that guy Jalen Sneed, like they keep saying, hey, they're going to rush him off the edge. And I just was thinking, like, that's dumb. Like in the BC game, the guy made like 3 or 4 tackles in such a short period of time. He seems to be a guy that just like has good anticipation skills, and just wherever the ball is, he's where the ball is. He's like the antithesis of Maris Leofau, who's really athletic and can smash guys, but like he has no nose for the football. So I like JD Bertrand because he's always going to be around the ball. If you want to criticize him that he's not super athletic, fine, but he's like an overachieving kind of guy who's not a wuss. He's gonna be a gamer. I like him. I think he'll lead the linebacker. I think our linebackers will be way improved. I think where I worry is on the back end. Like, I know our corners are locked down, but I just think that last year on our defense, we were missing something, and it was Kyle Hamilton. He went pro, and we did not have this like ball hawk in the middle that could like really scare teams. that guy, Brandon Joseph, was not as good as advertised. And so I worry, like, I really hope if Xavier Watts can step up and be awesome, that will just be so huge for Notre Dame. If he's not awesome, or if he gets hurt and you got to play like these other dudes, I think that will end up really hurting us. So.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's just a lot. Can I ask this? This may be bigger picture. A part of me sometimes wonders if Al Golden this might be it after these 2 years, and he either goes on to be an analyst or a scout or does something else. And then Mickens moves over and takes that role, and a younger, energetic guy and all that. That wouldn't surprise me at all, no matter how this year goes, to be honest.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Al Golden because, I'm probably like the only Al Golden defender out there, and I'm not going to defend his recruiting. Okay. Like I'm not going to, I think that there's probably some truth to the idea that Al Golden is a little lazy or he doesn't connect with guys. Like he's, he's like in his 50s and stuff like that. He probably saw himself at this point in his life being a head coach of a Division I team. It's probably a bit of an ego check that he's, got to answer questions to Marcus Freeman and stuff like that. With that said, Al Golden was one of the top minds in defensive football, like a decade ago. Okay. His Virginia teams, people literally, he ran defenses that numerous other colleges ended up trying to copy because he put together a defense that was so good. So I say that to make the point that he has not forgotten how to scheme defenses. He's now in the second year under Marcus Freeman's system. So if there's one thing that we should be happy about Al Golden about, and I'll eat crow if I'm wrong on this, is that he's going to scheme. He's going to put together the right scheme. Is he going to go out and land 5-star recruits? Maybe not. But don't think that we have like a mind that isn't good on defense. Like I think that's my one thing that I worry about with Jared Parker. He seems like a very energetic, good recruiter and stuff like that. We don't know if he can coach offense. But we do know Al Golden has a track record. He was really good as the Virginia defensive coordinator. He went to Temple, was really good. I don't remember what happened at Miami. Like I bet you the Miami's defenses weren't trash. It was probably other things going on. And I think he was dealing with a lot of recruiting violations and stuff like that at that point. But I'm just telling you, the guy did not forget how to coach defenses. So I got to think the scheme will be good. He's not going to be a Brian Van Gorder or some other guy who just can't coach defense. So
yep. And so I don't know, Andrew. It's been a lot of months and all the worry and all the debate and you and me and Pat yelling at each other on Saturday nights instead of relaxing in the summer, evening. Like this is where the payoff is, and it's just something we all invest this much time and emotion and thought into. Damn it, you just wanted to start off on the right page. Is that too much to ask?
Definitely. Hey, John, before you let me go, I do want to push back on you on one point, and it's not related to Navy. Do we have time for that or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I don't even necessarily if it's you, it's people, it's Notre Dame fans. They keep making the point that quarterback recruiting in terms of talent is on a major upswing. And the implication being that Brian Kelly did not bring in talented QB recruits. And I think that is dead wrong. I think that Brian Kelly's whole problem was always development. And in particular, the scheme that he ran, like he would recruit running quarterbacks and put them in a pro style system. Just go back and look at the ratings for Malik Zaire, for Brandon Wimbush, for Deshaun Kaiser, and for Phil Jurkovic. Those guys, if you look at their 247 ratings, were rated as high or higher than CJ Carr, Kenny Minchie, Deuce Knight, and stuff like that. So the whole point is that I think we forget that Phil Jurkovic was supposed to be the guy. He transferred, and that caused other guys who were sort of like the backups. Like, I don't think Drew Klein was ever intended to start at Notre Dame. He was brought in as a depth piece.
Let's make it a Let's make it a 3-pronged discussion: recruiting, development, and retention. Are you okay with that?
Yeah,
if we put
I think
like some blend of something going wrong in one of those three areas is how we always ended up in the year we did. All camp wondering what are we going to get out of the quarter. So somewhere something always went wrong, either in the recruiting bucket, the development bucket, or the retention bucket. It was always something was off.
Problem was he didn't it wasn't the guys he got, because even Adam Dowling made a good point. Buckner was super highly rated.
Yeah,
it was when they got there, they just didn't get any better, or they didn't run the right system for him. So so that's what I'm saying. It's we need to pump the brakes a little bit. I'm let's hope that our offensive staff know what to do with this talent, because the only guy that Brian Kelly really ever developed was Ian Book. I mean, that was the only guy they ever developed.
Yeah.
So,
Gino, I'm telling you, Gaduli, I think it can make a big difference. And especially with some of the younger guys that have high physical and mental upside. I love having that guy, one guy dedicated to just being in the shadow of these quarterbacks, giving them what they need, monitoring their development and mentally, physically, everything they need to. And it's just that is his job, to be with that group. I find a lot of value in that. And I think it can make a big difference. Maybe not with Hartman because he's sixth year, but with all the guys after him. I like the way that's going so far.
And I hope that Gino doesn't go viral screaming at the quarterback. I thought that was such BS last year that people were like, oh, Drew Pine likes to get, likes the hard coaching. It was just all spin to make Tommy Reese look better. I mean, I've never met a player who liked, being embarrassed on national television in front of his family because the coach is yelling at him. So I'm hoping Gino takes a different approach. So.
Yeah. And I like having that guy. I see him working with them. I just think they get a lot more one-on-one attention than they did when Reese was trying to run the whole offense, scheme everything, and look at the quarterbacks. I just see a lot of value in having one guy that the players could trust, and he has their best interest, and he's involved in everything. And I like that. And so I'm encouraged by that. And
he took a guy in Desmond Ritter who, if you look at his 247 rating, he wasn't even barely rated. He was in the low 80s. So he took that guy, and that guy was a top 3 third round. I think he was maybe a second or third round pick, and now he's starting. So that's a big feather in his cap. I do think there's some questions of why that Ben Bryant, the next quarterback, didn't develop, because he was a much bigger recruit than Desmond Ritter. But I think that
Andrew, Pat's pushing back on you.
Yeah.
Pat's pushing back on you.
What's that?
He's going because Lou Holtz never pulled the guy in by the face mask and screamed at him. What's your response to that?
I don't think that.
My response would be Tommy Reese isn't Lou freaking Holtz. That's my difference. That's what I would. Exactly. That's how I would respond. He doesn't have that credibility and the presence and all that Lou did. That's where I would say the difference is. Not anybody can pull that off. I'm just saying not everybody can get away with pulling that move off. And I think Lou's the type of personality and character that can.
Exactly. And I don't know, it's clearly Drew Pine was pressing at that point. And so when somebody is your only option and they're pressing, do you think that's the best motivational tool, is to scream at him? He knows he needs to make the play. You know what I mean? It's almost like kicking a dead horse or something like that. You know what, though, you got to take a different approach. What, though? Yeah.
I need to sit out any discussion where it's when is it appropriate to yell and get mad? I kind of feel I don't feel like I'm the best gauge of when that is appropriate or not. So maybe I need to sit out discussions about when to get all worked up, because I got a short fuse when it comes to that. Anything else, Andrew? It's been good touching base with you right before the year. You got a prediction for the game, or do you want to save that for tonight if you're going to be around, what?
No, I think my prediction is I'm taking the under, but Notre Dame covers. So I think it's going to be something like 31-3. I think that the new rules, I think people don't really realize the new rules, especially for academy schools, are going to really make the games a lot lower. They're going to be more like NFL scores and stuff like that. So I'm taking the under on that. And I think that the sports books are going to have a hard time catching up with the academy schools. Cause like when two academy schools play each other, the under hits like an incredible amount of time. So I think that especially with that Notre Dame, like maybe being sort of a little brother, they're not going to want to run up the score. I'm taking the under, but Notre Dame covers something like 31-3.
Yeah, there we go, man. Well, we're certainly all of America's watching. It's Notre Dame on America's TV tomorrow, and I just want it to go well. I want us to show out. I want us to impress people, and I just I'm excited to get it going, man. Hey, thanks for the call today. It's a beautiful day, man. It's a special day, the Friday before the first Notre Dame game, and I know how much you think about this stuff. Try and not stress out and enjoy it, my friend.
Yeah, and then just one last thing, Pat's now contradicting himself because he's saying like Brian Kelly shouldn't have gone purple face, which is exactly my sentiment, which is like that's not a good look for your team when your coach is like screaming at players. So I'll leave it on that.
All right, man. Have a good one. Maybe we'll see you tonight. Maybe we'll see you on the post-game show tomorrow, man. Be around.
Hey, have a good one.
See ya. Oh, man. Pat, explain what you're saying tonight. We're not doing it now. I have things to do. Save that and then go over it tonight. That's what we'll do because I think Pat's going to be on right when I said not to do this. Pat, he hung up. He must have just heard me and hung up. Yeah, we'll cover that tonight. We have all night. We could do that. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Yeah, tonight's show. Anybody, I forgot. If you weren't there in the morning, we're going live tonight at 8 o'clock. I mean, I forget it's 2 hours. Not everybody's watching the whole time. We're doing a pregame party tonight at 8 o'clock. Yeah, tonight with the question mark, of course. Pre-game party tonight at 8 o'clock. Work out your anxiety. Drink out your anxiety. Call me with what you're worried about. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. Okay? So, yeah, 8 o'clock Central. And what I'm going to do is, in the afternoon, I'll put out another link out on YouTube or on Twitter, just like I do for this. So I'll make a whole nother link, be a whole different show, and we'll load it up at 8 o'clock tonight. And that could go short. It could go long. I'm going to talk to Pat a little bit. And I love the Friday before the first Notre Dame game. So I'm maximizing that as much as I can. And don't forget, 1 minute after the game tomorrow, we're going live. Open the phone lines. That is going to be about you guys. That ain't the time for me to do all the talking. Right after the game, I want to know what you guys think. I am hoping to have a lot of calls, move through them fast. That's the idea for tomorrow's show. All the chatters, all the donators, Chicks Dig the Stutter, Ray Allcroft, Andrew Gilmore, Tom Frawley, James Amodi, Domer Wap, Homer TD, Eric, the lawyer, $100 Aller, V1 Rotate, Phil, Willie B. Artigan, can't answer that, don't want to think about it. Pat, everybody, thank you. And be with us tonight. You're not getting off that easy. You're going to get Johnny in the morning and in the night. Yeah, prime time, Pat. That's what we're doing. See you later tonight, guys. Don't stress out too much. Football's almost here.